Hi everyone, welcome to the first video in a series on how to play slap guitar. And today we're going to focus on the slap and the pop. So slap guitar is all in the wrist. You slap with your wrist and you pop with your wrist. So the pop is pretty straightforward. You could probably do that straight away. You're not popping with just your finger. You're keeping your finger pretty rigid. You get it under the note you want to hold and use your wrist to pop it. That kind of motion. And you immediately mute the note after you play it with your left hand. So in slow motion that would be like that. So you could probably do that straight away, but the slap on the other hand is something that's going to take practice because it's very difficult to get straight away. To get a very clear note just like that. The thing I see a lot of people doing at the start when I'm teaching this is they try and use their whole arm to try and slap, like they're almost like they're punching the strings. But really it's just a little wrist movement. You don't even have to move your arm at all. So the exercise I'm going to show you today is a fast track to getting those wrist movements for the pop and the slap correct. It's probably a trickier exercise for a beginner than I could have shown you, but because it's a fast track to getting your wrist moving the right way, I think it's a good one to begin with. And it's mostly about slowing it down to play it perfectly at the slowest speed you can, to get it into your muscle memory, and then gradually increase with a metronome. But first, I'm going to go to a close-up and I'll show you the exercise, and then we can talk afterwards about the details of how to slap and pop. So the exercise sounds like this. And I will show you the notes of how to play that first, and then I'll talk about the details of the slapping and the popping. So for popping, you can use either your first finger or your middle finger. Most people seem to use their first finger and thumb for slapping and popping. Personally, I like to have my pick in my hand at all times, so I keep it behind my first finger and use my middle finger for popping. But it's down to personal preference, whatever you prefer. So the first note of this starts on the second fret of the E string. And I find this one easier to hold down with your thumb. Have your thumb over the neck like this and hold it down with your thumb. And most of this riff goes between that second fret of the E string with the thumb, the second fret of the D string with your first finger, and the fourth fret of the D string with your ring finger. Like that. So the first note is the thumb note on the second fret, E string. Then we go to the fourth fret of the D string with the ring finger. So the first two notes are. And then we hit this muted strings with our thumb twice. Like that. Then we move to the second fret of the D string. Play it and hit twice. So far we've got back to the fourth fret of the D string, 2 hits, and back to the second fret of the D string, 2 hits. So that apart from the first note with the thumb, the rest is kind of a sequence where it's 4, hit, hit, 2, hit, hit, 4, hit, hit, 2, hit, hit. 4 hit, hit, 2 hit, hit, 4 hit, hit, 2 hit, hit. Like that. And then we finish the riff with a hammer on from the second fret of the D string to the fourth fret of the D string. And then back to the second fret of the E string. can repeat that riff as much as you want. So for this one, this note on the E string, actually for now I recommend just plucking it with your thumb, which seems counterintuitive in a slap guitar video, but for now, just pluck it with your thumb. That'll be easier, because you'll not be able to make it sound with a slap just yet. The thing that is exercising your wrist, getting to move the right way, are those hits. Because once you've played this very slow at the start, you'll want to speed it up, and as you get faster, you'll not be able to hit it with your arm the way you will be doing at the start. So very slowly but surely your wrist will become attuned to making the slap as opposed to your arm. So this one, just as you get faster and play this accurately, it will naturally tune your wrist to be able to slap. So for this one, it's very important to get it into your muscle memory first and play it exactly right. So you want your strummed note, and then your pop has to be really precise and tight like that. Mute it as soon as you play it and get a good strong pluck on the string. And then your two solid hits. Then down to your second fret note. A good firm pluck, muted immediately. Two solid hits. And continue through the whole riff like that until you can play it so that every note sounds clearly and perfectly. So I've got my metronome here, and I've got it set to 40 BPM here, but in quarter notes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And that's the speed I'm going to start with this riff. You don't even have to start with a metronome. Just get it under your fingers first without, and once you feel you've got a handle on it, then start to use the metronome as slow as it goes. 40 is as low as mine goes. And then gradually build your speed up, playing it perfectly before you can move up to your next level of speed. So there you have it. That's a quick introduction to slapping and popping. Now the more you practice this one, your wrist action will start to get better for the slap. So it's good to test. The easiest strings to slap on are the open strings, particularly the open E. So after you've practiced this one for a while and feel like you're getting good at it, just try and slap an open E and see if you can get it to sound like this. Remember to mute it straight away with the left hand as soon as you play it to get that funk sound. If you're not quite there, go back to practicing that riff that I just showed you. The more you practice it, the quicker your wrist will get used to slapping. That is the fast track exercise to getting your wrist ready for slapping. It may still take a few weeks of hard practice of that riff, but once you've got it down and got it up to speed, you'll be really ready to take on all the other parts of slap guitar. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.